Now, in the last class, we discussed about SCD0 and SCD1 and how they will implemented in the SSIS. Okay. Now, let me go for SCD type 2. Okay. So, let me show some example for SCD type 2 also. So, let us see. Yeah. So, we have created sample tables in the SSIS database. So, let me connect to them one more time. Okay. Durga Prasad, we are hearing some background sound from your side. Okay, now let us see whether these tables are still present. Yeah, so these tables are still there. Okay. Now we have created one history table, no? So we have created one history table. Now let us see in HCD type 2. So we have two versions. Okay, one is maintaining the history using the single column, that is by using the active column. Okay, another one is maintaining the history, okay, by using two date columns. Okay, now let us see one by one. Okay, now in the historical table, okay, now let me add. So let me take, so we have, okay, now let me comment those. Now in this table we have, so already whatever the columns present in my master table, all those columns are there in the history table also. So for this table, let me add one new column. Okay. So article table name, that is table underscore LCD master history. So I want to maintain the historical data, okay, using a single column. Now let me add an active column. Okay, that is the integer data. Now you can see, let me delete the records from this master table. First time, let me delete the records. So let me delete all the records. Now you can see that, so in this table, okay, so in the master table I have 7 records, and in the historical table, so we have added one extra column called active column is added. Okay, now let us go to this. Now let us go to the SSIS design. Now let me rename it as CD type 0 1. Okay, now let us take one more. Now let us see. So let me take the source table first. Okay. So my source table is in the present in the DBSI4 database. Okay. And the table name is table underscore SCD underscore master. So my source table is this one. Okay. So we should have 7 records. Okay. Now I want to maintain history for this table, okay, whenever the data slowly changes. Okay, so let me take the drag and drop the slowly changing dimension. Okay, so in this, inside this, we have to map, we have to select in which table we want to store the history. Okay, now here you can see, so my historical table is present in which database, that is also in the DBSI4. Okay, so what is the table name? SCD master underscore history. So let me create a connection again. So it has went through some updates. Okay, in the morning, today morning. Let me see whether the service file is up and running or not. So it has opened the window. Let me see. Okay. I've created one more connection to the DB4. Okay. Now let us see in which table we are storing the history, that is SCD master history table. So let me go and see. So this is my historical table in which I'm storing the data. Okay. So here you can see the input columns. Okay. And the destined dimension columns. So this is the history table. Okay. That is called dimension columns. Okay. In the historical table, we have the active column and the input columns which are coming from the source. Okay. And we have to identify in order to compare the data, we have to identify a business key column between these two. Okay, I'm taking the employee as business key column. That's it. Now let me map all the input columns. Okay. Now all these. Now let us say I have the in this table. Do we have any designation column? So I don't have any designation column. No. So let us say let me include one column. Okay, in the start of the master table. So let me include one designation column. Okay. So how to add a column to the table is, so alter table, okay, table underscore SCD master, okay, add, okay, designation column, okay, something like varchar 30. Okay, I'm adding some extra column to the source table. Now you can see, so we have an extra column, designation is there. Now let me go for and update the designation with the software engineer. Okay, so let me update this table. Okay, set designation is equal to SC. That is software engineer like this. I'm updating all the columns, okay, all the records. Okay, now we can go and see. So we have the SC, all the designation as SC here. Okay. Now in this table also, for this historical table also, let me add one more column here. Okay, that is a varchar 30. So here also let me add the same column. Okay, now you can see in both these we have, okay, designation column also is added here. Okay, now let me go and cancel it. Let me go and preview the data again. So let us see. Yes, we are getting the designation column. Okay, now let me go for and take a new one. Okay, and pass the source data to this. And here, so let us go and select in the DB4. Let us go and select the historical table, SCD history, master history table. Now you can see we have two columns. Designation also is coming. Now let us take the business key column to compare the data between these two. Now let us take all this. Okay. Now let me make the designation as historical attribute. Okay. So I'm making the designation as historical attribute. Okay, historical attribute you can see here. Select this type when changes in this column in column values are saved in new records. Previous values are saved in record marked as outdated. This is a type 2 change. Okay, so when anybody modified this column data, so that data will be stored in a new record. That is what it is saying. Select this type when changes in the column values are saved in new records. Okay, now let us go to next. Now I don't want to fail for the fixed attribute columns. I don't want to fail the transformation. Go to next. Now here you can see that if you have a historical attribute in option, okay, you can see maintain the history using a single column to show current and expired records. And we have one more option here. As I told, so inside type 2 we have two options, that is maintaining historical data using single column and two date columns. So that is what it is showing here. Use a single column to show current and expired records. Use start and end dates to identify current and expired records. Okay, now let me go for first option. Yes, I want to show the historical data using a single column. Now you can see we have created one column called active now. That column is coming here. Okay, this is the column which is not present in the source table and only present in the destination table. Okay, so what is the value you want to give for the current record? Okay, you can go and specify for the current record I want to give value as 1. What is the value you want to give for expired record? It is 0. So you can select like 0. Okay, so both you can select either 1 or current or time, true, whatever you want. Okay, like this. Now go to next. Do you want to consider the dummy records? No, I don't want to consider. Now this is the summary section. Now click on finish. Now you can see it will design its own structure. Now you can see it has designed its own package to achieve that output. Okay, so to achieve this output, whenever the designation got changed, we are inserting a new record. Okay, we are inserting a new record. Okay, with value as 1 and making the previous record as 0 no, for the same employee ID. So to accomplish these changes, it has designed this package on its own. Okay, like this. Okay, okay. So it has designed its own package, okay, to achieve that requirement. Now let me go on. So first time, now you can see that. So my source table has data and historical table does not have any data. Okay, now let us see first time what will happen is, now all the records will get inserted, means all the data will be pushed into the new output. Okay, will be pushed as a new output. Now you can see all the 7 records are pushed to the new output. Okay, it is getting 7 records since this is the first time. You can go and see. So all the records are pushed to the new output, and you can see the active value. So all are treated as active records. First time everything is active. Okay. Now let us do some modification. So let us do some modification for employee ID 1. Okay. So let me update table SED master. Okay. So set the designation as now for employee 1 and employee 2. Okay. So set the designation as okay. Set the designation as SSC as team lead for these two records. Okay. Now I'm updating my source table and I'm changing the designation values of employee ID 1 and 2. Okay. So okay. Now let us see. Now I have changed the source table. Okay. So for employee ID 1 and 2, let us say vary empid in 1 comma. Okay. Now so let me do the same thing for historical table also. Okay, now you can go and see. So now you can see here it is updated. The source is that updated as SSC and TL. In the historical table it is SC and SC. Now let me go and execute this one more time. Now you can see that two records are pushed into this. Okay, pushed into this historical attribute insights. Okay. Now let us go and see in the database how it is created. Okay, so in the database, how the historical data is inserted is now you can see for employee ID 1. Okay, there are two records. For employee ID 1, there are two records. Okay, now let us see for only for employee ID 1. If you are getting confused, let me go and see for only for employee ID 1. Okay, now you can see one record with SC and one record with SSC. And for the old record, it is specified as 0. And for the new record, we can get the active as 1. Okay, like this. So it is inserting a new record. Okay, whenever a change is happening, it is inserting a new record in the historical table. Okay, for employee ID 1. Now you can see for the old one, it has updated the active value as 0. And for the new one, it is inserted as a active value as 1. So if I write a query like where active equal to 1, I will get the list of latest status. Okay, but I don't know in which period okay he served as software engineer and from which date he got promoted to senior software engineer. Okay, to know that what I can do now, I want to maintain the history in a two date columns. Okay, so let us go on see how we can maintain the history in a two date columns. So let us give the name as SCD type 2, okay, using active column. Now let us go and create, okay. Now let us go and create one more historical table. Now let me have from this table. Okay, now let me create one more backup table into table underscore SCD2, okay, SCD2 dates. Okay, now I'm creating one more historical table. Okay, now here you can see that okay, the copy of table is created. Okay, now so let me truncate or let me add, first of all let me delete the data from this historical table. Okay, I'm deleting the data. Okay, and after that what I want to do is I want to add two new columns. Okay, a table. So alter table, table name. Okay, let me add the two date columns. Let us say start date. Okay, and let me specify the start date as date time. Okay, comma. Let me add one more date field. Let us say end date as date. Okay, so I'm adding two date columns to this table. Okay, now we can go and see this table has two date columns, start date and end date. Okay, now my source table contains 7 records. Okay, now let us see how we can do that. So now let me go and take one more data flow task. Okay, now let me take YLDB source. My source data is coming from a table. So let me take YLDB source and let us map our okay table, that is a CD underscore master as a source. Preview. Okay, now let me take slowly changing dimension. Let us pass the data. So inside this, let me take the historical table. So my history table is present in DB-SAI4 and the table name is table underscore SCD2 dates. Okay, now in this table you can go and see that we have two date columns, start date and end date, extra columns. Let us take the mapping column as employee as a business key column. Go to next, and here you can see that let me map all the input columns first. Okay, and let us specify designation as a historical attribute column. Okay, designation as historical attribute. Now go to next. I don't want to fail the fixed attribute changes. Now let me select this option. For historical attribute option, let me select the second option that I want to maintain the history using the two date columns. Okay, so let us map this for start date column and end date column. Let us map this. And which date value it has to take, and the initial stage which date value it has to take. So you want to take the system start time or system created time is container start time is created time is this package created time, or whenever you are executing on that time, whenever you are executing that package. Okay, do you want to take that time? So all will be almost equal. Okay, only some seconds difference will be there. Okay, now let me go for system start time. Okay, so now let us go to this next. You can take any date. Okay, we did not find that much difference in the dates, only some seconds difference will be there. Okay, now let us go for, so I have selected the two date columns and what is the start time I want to give, and I don't want to consider the dummy records remaining and all same. Finish. Now if you have two date columns, it has designed its own package again. Okay, Now let me go and execute this first time. So first time all the records will get inserted into the destination table. Now let me execute it one more time. So now you can see first time all the records got executed, and you can see that end date is null for each and every record. So currently they are serving in this position. Okay, like that. Now let me update the source table data. Okay. Now let me update the source table data. So let me update table underscore scd master is set designation is equal to, okay, so for employee one, so right now the designation is SSC. So let me update to team lead, where empid equal to 1. So I'm updating my source table. Okay. Now let us go and see. So let me execute it one more time. Now you can see. So one record is going to this historical attribute insert. Okay. Now let us go on. See in the database. So only for employee one. Now you can go and see. So for employee one, okay, in the source it is we have updated with team lead, and you can see the destination. Okay. So earlier it was SSC, and now it got updated to team lead. And now here you can see that, so I have created the columns with the date time so that I can see the time difference at least. Now you can see in this time period, that is from 9:57 to 9:59. Okay. So he served as an SSC, and now you can see at 9:59, okay, his designation got updated to team lead, and this will be the last date for the previous record. Okay, now you can see 59 for 29:59, and here also 9:59:40. Okay, this will be the last day for the previous record. Okay, and for the current status, current designation end date value is none, means he is still serving in this designation team lead. Okay, like that. Now let me update one more time. Now let me update the this value, okay, from team lead to manager. Okay, so at what time he got updated as 21:59, that is 9:59. Okay, right now you can see the time is 10:01. Okay, let it become 10:02 so that I can update. So updating this, the value from team lead to designate manager. Okay, I want to update it 22:02. Okay, let us see. Let us wait for 1 minute. Now you can see the time is 22:02. Okay, let me update like that. So I'm updating my source table. Okay, now here you can go and see. So there are one record. Now in the source table it is updated with manager. Okay. Now let me go and execute my package one more time. Now let me go and execute the package one more time. Now you can see that now let me go and see in the destination table how the data will be. Now for employee ID 1 we have 3 records now, and now here you can see, so there is one more new record for the latest status, that is manager. Okay, and at what time he got updated, that time will be the last time for the previous record. Okay, so one for the latest one, the end date value is null here. Okay, so this is how the SCD type 2 will work. Okay, so this is about SCD type 2. Okay, so maintaining the history in 2 date columns. Any doubts? So in SCD1 and SCD2. Just a minute. So now let me go for remaining transformations. So are you able to understand, Tarala? Any doubts?
No, sir. I'm good.
Now let me go for one more transformation. So we have C sort union all. Okay. Now, so let me go for remaining one. So we have seen cache also. Okay. Now let me go for audit. Up to now we have used audit as a dummy transformation. No? Now let us see the usage of audit. So audit is nothing but, suppose if you want to add extra information about your package, okay, about your solution, about your project, okay, about your task, okay, we can go and use this audit transformation. So when an auditor comes to our company, what he will do? So he will check all these companies, or means whether the company is following the standards, okay, all those things. So based up, okay. So like that, this audit transformation also gives us the information about your package. When the package got executed, who is executing the package, okay, what is the package name, okay, what is the task name, like all those things. Okay. Now let us see here. So you can take any source, okay, it will add some extra information to the source data. Okay. So doesn't mean what source you are taking. Okay. For that source information, let me take any table. Now you can see I have some 4 records in this table. Now you can go and see. So apart from those 4 columns, okay, apart from those 4 columns, okay, apart from these 4 columns, if you want to add extra information about your package or your task, okay, now you can go and see. So we have the audit type. Suppose you want to know the what is your package name, okay, what is your task name, okay. and from which machine you are executing your package. So who is the user executing your package? Okay, at what time the execution got started? Okay, so we have, apart from this, we have the global unique identifier ID, package ID, some numbers, ID numbers it will give. Okay, and you can see the task ID, version ID, package ID like that. Okay, so the remaining all will give me the names. Okay, now you can see along with your columns, it will include these information also. Okay, so let me give the task name as, now let me give the task name as auditor task. Okay, yes. Now my package name is data flow transformation. This is my package name, data flow trans, and my task name is auditor task, and I am executing my system. I am executing the package, and from which computer? My computer name is Balaji-PC. Okay. Now it will go and show all those details here. Now let me take one more dummy transformation. Let me take some. I'm just interested in this output. I just want to know, now you can see along with the columns coming from the source, it has inserted, it has included extra columns here. Now let me go and execute the package. Now you can see okay, along with the existing columns, it has included the package name, that is data flow trans, and the task name is auditor task, from which machine, that is Balaji PC, and who is the user executing, that is Krishna, and at what time. Okay, so you can it will include all these information. Okay, suppose if your project got deployed in the production and you want to know which computer, okay, and who is the user running that package, okay, we can, and mainly this is useful for getting the time, okay, at what time your package got executed. Okay, and if you put this for the next one also, you can compare the difference. Okay, at what time the second task started and at what time the first task got started, and if you get the difference, you will come to know that how much time your first task is taking. Like that. Okay, so if you include this one, okay, in the next one also, we can compare the difference and you will come to know that how much time the each task is taking, like that. So if you want to add this extra information about your into your package, you can go for this audit transformation. Okay, like that. So this is about audit transformation. Okay, now we have one more thing called, so we have seen cache transformation and this CDC splitter. So in the data control flow section, we have one task called CDC control task. Okay, whenever I'm explaining this, no, so this is the transformation under the data flow. So this CDC splitter is related to the CDC control task. Okay. So when I am explaining about CDC control task, I will explain about CDC splitters. Okay. Now let me go for next one, that is character map. So this character map is very less used in our English language. Okay, now let me show you that. So it is just to convert your data from lowercase to uppercase. Okay, for English language, especially for English language, it is very less used. Okay, I can go and see. Suppose if we have some data, so let me take any table. So now you can see we have this city column. Okay, now if you want to convert the data from lowercase to uppercase, okay, then you have to go for this character map. Okay, so in this case now you can see that city column. Okay, so I want to create a new column. Okay, and you can see that operation is copy of city column. Now you can see that. So using this character map, I can convert the data into lowercase or uppercase. So now you can see for English language we have only two options, either if you want to convert them into lowercase or uppercase. Okay. Now remaining and all these hiragana, katakana, these are for foreign languages. Let us say some Korean language. Okay, and you can see linguist simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. Okay, it is just for character conversion. So whether you want to display your characters in one format, okay, like in uppercase or lowercase in English, so they have another conversions for different languages. Okay, but for English they have provided only two options, either lowercase or uppercase. Now, after converting the city column into uppercase, do you want to add that as a new column or do you want to replace the existing column? Okay, I don't want to add as a new column. I just want to replace the existing column. Okay, now that's it. Click on OK. Now if you go and see the output, I just want to view the output. Then let me use the audit. Now here I'm using the audit as a dummy transformation. Now you can go and see data viewer, enable data viewer, click on OK. Okay, now what it will do is it will convert the city data, okay, into uppercase data. That's it. And I don't want to add as a new column. I just want to replace the existing column. Now you can see that the city column is converted to uppercase. That's it. Okay. So for English, it is very less used. In English, we will be using very less times. Okay. Just I want to explain in the classes. That's it. But we did not use that much in our real-time projects. Okay. Now we have one more. Let me go for another one. So using the derived column also you can do that. Instead of using separate transformation, okay, when you are using the derived column, you can just make it as an expression also. Okay, so let me go for next one. So let me go for character map. Let me go for copy column. So what is this copy column is? If you want to take a copy of existing column, then we have to go for this copy column option. Okay. So let us take any source. Okay. Mm, So let me take any other table. Now you can see I have this data. Now this copy column, what it will do is, if you want to take a copy of existing column, now let us say state. Now you can see it has taken one, okay, copy of state. Okay, so it will just create one more copy of the state column. That's it. Okay, now you can go and use the audit and as a dummy now, and I want to view the output. I just want to view the output. Okay, now you can see it has created one extra column. That's it. Okay, so when this will be used is, let us say suppose, okay, so I have one of the example is, now you can see here, so it will just take a copy of, okay, state, okay, copy of state. Okay, now when this will be used is, one thing is to get the to identify the palindrome names. Okay, to identify the palindrome names means if you read that name from left side or from right side, the name will come same. So let us say madam is there. Okay, so if I go for madam, if I read it from left side, it will be madam, and similarly if I start reading from right side, it will be madam only. Similarly, mom, MOM, okay, both are, if you read it from left side and right side, those are called as palindrome names. Okay, if you want to find the palindrome names in your table data, okay, in your any table column, then you can go and use this copy column. That is one example. Another example is, let us say I want to push the data, I want to distribute the data into multiple destinations. Okay, into multiple destinations. Okay, so at the time what you can do is, okay, uh, one column, let us say some good example. If I want to distribute the data into multiple destinations, okay, at the time you can go and use the multicast, that is okay. Let me explain about one of the example, that is palindrome example. Okay, if I get it any other thing, I will let you know one more time. Now this is, let me give the name as copy column. Let me show you some table data which contains the palindrome names. Okay, now let us say, let me use TV Krishna. Okay, now let me get some table name. Okay. So we have one table. Okay, select start from table palindrome. Now you can see I have some names here like Mohan, okay, Madam, Krishna, Malayalam, and Mom is there. Okay, so from these names I want to separate the palindrome names. Okay. From these names I want to separate the palindrome names, then I can go and use this copy column option. Okay. Now let us see. So let me push the data into DBSI4. Okay. Now let me push, okay, this table data, okay, into DBSI4. Okay. So with the same name I want to push the data. Now in my database also we have the table name, table palindrome is there. Okay. Now let us go for DBSI4. Let us go to this. Now let us take our one more data flow task, and let me take the OLEDB source, and let me map our table name, that is table underscore palindrome. Now you can see we have our table name, table underscore palindrome is there. Now you can see here we have madam, this is a palindrome name. Malayalam, this is also a palindrome name. Mom, this is also a palindrome name. Okay, out of the names I want to separate these palindrome names. Okay, then what can I do is, then one of the option is I can go and take the copy column option. Okay, I can go and write it like, I can take a copy of this column. Okay, now let me take it as copy of employee. Okay, now click on OK. Now after taking the copy of employee name, now I have two columns here. One is normal employee name, another one is copy of employee. Okay, now I can go and write, let me have conditional split now. Let me take the conditional split transformation. Okay, now what I can do is, in this conditional split, now I can see we have two columns here. Okay, if employee name, okay, left of employee name, I can go and put like, if employee name is equal to, okay, reverse of employee name, so reverse of this column. Okay, so if employee name is equal to reverse of this name, means that is a, if you read from left hand side and the reverse means the, if you read it from right hand side, if both are equal, then that is a palindrome name. No? Then that is a palindrome name. Okay? Palindrome record. And the remaining records will be sent it to the default output, and we can call them as normal records. Okay, normal names. Or let me call it as normal records. Now let us see. So I have written a condition like, if the employee name is equal to the reverse of copy of employee name. Okay, now we can go and see that. So let me take the audit. Okay, and in one of the column let me take one more audit. I just want to view the data. So let us say palindrome records, and here let us say normal records. Okay, now let me view the data, and here also let me view the data. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking a copy of column. Okay, by using this copy option, I'm taking the copy of employee column, and I'm giving some alias name. And after that, I'm using the conditional split. Here I'm separating, I'm putting a condition like, if employee name is equal to the reverse of copy of employee name. Okay, then that is equal to palindrome record, otherwise it is a normal record. And I am putting the data into to audit. Okay. Now let me go and execute this task. I just want to view the output. Now you can see that we have two outputs now. Okay. So palindrome record and normal records. Palindrome records we have two, Madam and Malayalam. Okay. So if I read Madam from left hand side, it will be Madam. If I read it from right hand side, again it will be Madam. Similarly, Malayalam also. But the normal record we have Mohan, that is a normal one, that is not a palindrome name. Krishna, that is not a palindrome name. Mom should be palindrome name, no? But it has come to the normal record output. Why? Why? Because
It is case
yes.
sensitive.
So since SSIS is case sensitive, it will treat capital M as different and small m as different. Okay, that's why the mom has come to the normal record. So to overcome that issue, what we can do is inside the conditional split, when you are writing the condition, we can convert them into lower case. So lower of employee is equal to, first of all, let me convert into lower case, okay, and then reverse it. Okay, either you can do after reverse, you can do the lower, or after before lower, you can do after reverse. Now let me go and execute it one more time. So now we can see that Mohan and Krishna are coming as normal revenue names. And you can see Mom also is coming in the palindrome. Okay. So this is one of the small example about the comp card. Can we stop now?